Hello and welcome to the chapter 105 of the last Once of a Busy Mind. This one titled "And the World Will Be Better for This," which is part of the lyric of the Impossible Quest, the Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha. This is the last episode of chapter season 7. I'm sorry, this is the last chapter of season 7, which is, as I've discussed, our first season with a theme, and that theme was living under oppression. The goal was for this chapter to do not have any guest at the beginning because it's the last chapter and it's a good idea for me to have a retrospective. But because the last chapter we also didn't have a friend, but even his silence spoke 1,000 words. So this is the last chapter. My drink for today is sparkling water, watermelon, and strawberry flavored. And I know what you're thinking. It's actually not that bad. I shouldn't have drunk that on an empty stomach. I'm recording this at around 8 a.m. and hopefully I will be able to upload it. So, if you've listened to the season so far, you know about everything that is happening in Iran right now. For a short version, in September, the Iranian morality police killed a 22-year-old named Mahsa Amini, and since then there has been a period of what can be seen as both a cultural movement and a downright revolution of sorts. So, we've seen so many great stuff happen. I'm sorry if my are kind of hitting weirdly. I did a couple of root canals and I haven't had the teeth cover yet, so it kind of sounds weird. But we've seen so many great stuff happen in Iran since then. The legitimacy of the Islamic Republic has always been under question, but now it's so much more. And even as I'm speaking right now, today is a day that a lot of people a lot of opposition groups are supposed to meet together for the first time in real life outside of online space. And the fact that they are even legitimate enough to be asked together means that the legitimacy of Islamic Republic is under question. They have been thrown out of the hilariously ironic women's committee in Women's Right Committee in United Nations. They have lost basically any political advantage that they thought they had, and right now it's become a sort of like a clear picture, something that was always there but always under the rug. And that is the simple fact that, well, if you are keeping up relationships with the Islamic Republic, you're doing it for your own personal gain. There isn't any moral reason. Basically, there isn't any political reason for you to keep talking and keep your relationships up with the Islamic Republic unless there is some financial or soft power gain for you. Which is, I know it's not like a groundbreaking discovery. Of course, it's politics. Of course, it is like that. But it's good to have it confirmed in this way, because in this way we can at the very least have the moral high ground and thus force other administrations outside of Iran to actually do something for once, because now they don't have the guise of moral standards. So, if you follow the news, even for many people inside of Iran, there is a sort of a hopelessness that, this didn't end anywhere. And I disagree with that. I disagree with that massively. The fact is that it's not over. We didn't come here, we didn't reach to this point in one night, and we're not going to get out of it in one night, you know. And even if Islamic Republic is overthrown, and I'm of a firm belief that it is going to be destroyed at some point. It's not that far off in the future. They are, in fact, going to end because you can't live like this. And by you, I mean the oppressor. At some point, even right now, they are still struggling massively to save face and failing massively at that too. So it is not yet over. It hasn't ended yet. But I also want you to remember all of the good stuff that happened. The fact is that, as I've said before, throughout this season, and you can hear it, you can hear my friends talk about it, you can hear me talk about it, it's the fact that there were a lot of problems, and all of them were sort of shrouded in a whole idea of this is normal, this is how it should be. And for the first time in a long time, we looked at it, and by we, I mean a collective, a large collective, not just the people in the thick of it, but everyone looked at it and realized, oh, it shouldn't be normal. It's not normal. It's not normal for us to have a morality police, let alone for us to perpetuate the same fucking stupid ideas for years. It's stupid, basically. And it's emperor's new clothes. Somebody needed to point it out and say, oh, the emperor is naked. In this case, I hope we don't see our emperor naked. Haha, joke. But a lot of these old ideals that has been engraved in Iran for, at this point, centuries, were finally being brought down. The centric view that Tehran is the center and Persian people are the rightful owners of the land has been under a constant debate for the past few months, and I'm really glad of that. I know I myself can be considered fucking Persian, but the fact that the Persian-centric view of Iran has always been, at the very least, a racist proposition brought on by a desperate attempt at a national identity that, well, didn't fucking work, and all it meant was the subjugation of other races and ethnicities inside of Iran, like Arabic, Kurdish, Baluch, Turkish, Azeri, Lor, and even Armenian and Jewish, because all of those people have prominent communities. Some of them have prominent provinces in Iran, and the fact that all of them have been relegated to, subsection of Persian is fucking stupid, and something that the monarchists love. So, I'm saying that it is not over, but even if it was, we have done great things. I always keep saying the fact that I know people who've all of their lives have been subservient to a religious identity that has been forced on them. And for the first time in their life, they're taking agency. They're removing hijab. They're looking at it as a tool of oppression that it is a massive undertaking. It's no simple feat. It's been massive. And if we don't look at this, if we don't look at what we've done, if we don't look at what has happened, it's easy to lose hope. It's easy to think, oh, it didn't end anywhere. Yeah, it didn't end anywhere yet. It's not over yet. It never is. It never is over. Because even if the Islamic Republic fucking moves the next day. If tomorrow we all wake up and say, oh, it, it's over, we have a long road to get rid of their influence. Not only their influence, but the influence of everything that led up to them. The traditionalist view, the patriarchal view, the um, religion first view. It takes a long time, but it will happen. There has been great moves yet. I am hopeful. I am still hopeful, which may classify me as a grade A idiot, but I am still hopeful. Great things have happened. Things that I thought would never happen. Seriously, if someone came up to me and said, in a few months' time, if someone came up to me at the beginning of 2022 and said, at the end of 2022, you're going to see stuff you've only read about. You're going to see people standing together for the first time in a long time. You're going to see a lot of the traditionalist ideals that you thought were embedded into Iran are being challenged to the point that even your own family are challenging them. I would have laughed. I would have never believed it. But it's true. It has happened. And it's not over yet. One of the funny things, and I'm going to tell you this because it is my area of expertise, and that is the Fajr Film Festival. It's a fucking, again, theater of oppression. It's the Iranian regime, Islamic Republic, trying to save face. Oh, we have people who like us, and a lot of the directors in Iran, whether you like it or not, are incredibly conservative and incredibly opportunistic and also very, very cowardly because that's the way the system brings them up. You're at the whim of a system that doesn't care about you. And I'm not going to underplay the bravery of many of them who have stood against oppression for years at this point. But a lot of them tend to just be conformists, oh, okay, just let us make movies and we'll do whatever you want. And Fajr Film Festival is a great way for the Islamic Republic to sort of gather that view, oh, people love us. These culture making icons love us. If you know anything about Iranian cinema, you're gonna laugh your fucking ass off. It didn't happen. A lot of the directors that they thought were sure hits, people who were okay with having their movies shown in this festival, outright denied it. Even though the movies are for producers, they explicitly said we don't want to, we don't want our movies there. Even if they are there, it's with our um, what do you call it, objection. A lot of people outside of Iran who had their movies be shown in Fajr Film Festival, because Fajr Film Festival is a fucking international thing, removed their movies, and if nothing, it shatters their image, shatters the image of Islamic Republic, that none of the people who they needed in order to save face were ready to give them a hand. It's when they realized, well, the emperor is really, truly naked. It doesn't have any clothes on, it doesn't have any friends. And that's actually an important thing, individual social unrest, because that is still going on a massive level. The fact is that there are a lot of online campaigns at the moment. We Don't Forget is one of them. And I'm saying, who has? People want to forget it. People want to move on. I wish I could move on. I can't. I've told you why. When I talked about, I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring. I should have looked. when I talked about chapter 1 and 2, why should you care? I talked about why I can't. Why I can't move on. Why I can't forget. But nobody can. At the beginning of this chapter, I said life as it was. It will never go back to life as it was. I'm glad that I stand here not with no eggs on my face, basically. And I knew it was going to go this way. I'm glad that that was confirmed. We're not going back to life as it was because you can't. You can't go back to life as it was. When you're faced with the savagery that we have, when you've seen the stuff that we have, and even though I've wrapped down massively on creation of YouTube shorts discussing the crimes of Islamic Republic because I mentally just can't deal with them anymore. And at least for a while, I need to take a break. But when you've seen what we have for the past few months, you know there is no going back to life as it was. Life as it was is over, for good and for bad. The facade of Islamic Republic as this unbeatable monster has been destroyed utterly with the desperation, with the fact that they bring every tool in their arsenal, from phony compassion of releasing some political prisoners, and I am glad for those who have been released, but we need to keep on going for those who are not yet. But they're doing from phony compassion to more oppressive measures. They're bringing back the fucking Ramadan, which is a unsavory character that the Islamic Republic literally brings out every time there is a massive unrest. And it's like they're bringing back like all the old hits because this is what they can do. This is the extent of their imagination and the extent of their oppression. We've seen it. This is all they are. This is all they can do. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic when you look at it and realize, oh, they're still trying to use the same tactics they used in 1980s. Even the cyber stuff, even the cyber methods are incredibly pathetic and laughable. It does work in some respects, but overall it's just fucking funny. They have nothing left. Well, I just want you to remember, if you listen to this inside of Iran, keep up hope. It's not over yet. It's not lost yet. I am still hopeful. Even in the face of greatest odds, we stood together. That's no small feat. We've challenged ideas in Iran that has been going since 1907, the constitutional revolution of 1907, and we're finally realizing those ideals and trying to implement them. That is no small feat. If you listen to this outside of Iran, don't think of it as over. Don't think because you haven't heard any big news that it's over. It's not. Keep an eye out. Help Iranians as you can. We are still having internet problems. We're still having massive oppression. I am hopeful, but cautiously, because issues are still remaining. Now, this is the last episode. I will see you at the between two episodes at the special chapter, hopefully. and then at the next season, and we'll see what I can do then. I'll see you later.